There's an album going around the internet that you may or may not have heard of. This album is called Everywhere at the End of Time. Some of the songs are being used on platforms like TikTok. Many other YouTubers have made reviews and analysis of this album. I'm here though to give you my thoughts and share them with you. What we'll be looking at today won't make you jump in your seat or question the existence of ghosts. This will give you an insight to many people's lives. I had discovered this album a few months ago on a long car ride back from the beach. While I obviously didn't have enough time to listen to the entire 6 hours and 30 minutes of the quote-unquote music, I was able to listen to what I needed to get a good idea of the album. If you haven't noticed, I've been playing some of the music from this album already. You're probably thinking, this isn't scary, is it supposed to be? Well, it isn't yet. Let's get into the real message of this album though. The Caretaker is the artist of this album and is able to describe what he's trying to very well through music. He's trying to accomplish an accurate representation of dementia. This album was meant to show the effects of dementia and almost put you through it for at least 6 hours. I have a lot of respect for anyone that was able to listen to this entire album start to finish. I had trouble listening to it for an hour, so I can't imagine listening to all of it. I feel like this album was able to capture the horrifying effects for dementia patients. While I myself have never struggled from dementia, I've had 2 relatives that have and one that I knew a little better. It hurt to see for everyone that knew this person to see them go through this. I would usually meet the closer relative once or twice a year. The relatives would start to forget things like where they put stuff, and it would grow larger with them forgetting names and then forgetting the person overall. If you have ever known someone with dementia or Alzheimer's in your family, this is probably relatable. So listening to this album made sense to me and was able to impact me maybe more than some people. So in this video I want to share the album with you and give my insights on it. The video starts off calm and peaceful with 20s and 30s music playing. What I have played for you guys so far is this music. As you go through this part of the album, you're supposed to feel at ease and maybe a little nostalgic. This is stage 1 dementia, as the artist says, where there are slight signs of memory loss, but this is the stage that is most likely like a beautiful daydream. This is where you remember all the years you have lived through, but are still in the great days. I rephrased that a bit, but I got what the artist was going for. As you go through these songs, you should feel at ease. Stage 2 is where realization starts to kick in. You can still mostly hear most of the old music being played, but there's some added depression of the song and an essence of noise in the background. This stage definitely is not as upbeat as the first one and will put you in a whole different mood. After listening to this, it is harder to understand what you are hearing as clearly. As the artist says, this is self-realization and awareness that something is clearly wrong. Lots of refusal can be shown as you think that you are fine. You have to use more effort to remember things and concentrate on what is happening. Deterioration can start to kick in and causing confusion and distortion of memories. The mood is lower than the first stage and before where confusion really starts to kick in. Stage 3 is different to say the least. I'm sure you can still make out the music bar having trouble with it more than the last one and the one before. Fully concentrating on one thing can be hard for this one. As the artist puts this section, we are giving some of the last coherent memories before confusion fully rolls in and there is not much left. The best moments have been remembered, but the flow in memories is confusing and tangled. As you get further memories, they become distorted, isolated, broken, distant. These are the last embers of awareness before going into the post-awareness stage. Stage 4 is the post-awareness stage, whereas I am sure you can notice it is noisy and confusing compared to the others. Now, essence of music you had listened to before only pops up barely. You have to focus very hard to hear these songs, and they would be difficult to hear anyway. These pieces of the album are about 30 minutes each. This is truly difficult, and it gets worse to hear. The artist says that this is the stage where serenity and the ability to recall singular memories gives way more confusions and horror. It is the beginning of a process where memories begin to become more fluid through entanglements, repetition, and rupture. This stage is really able to capture the effects of confusion. Stage 5 is even crazier than the last one. It sounds like taking a radio and turning the knob through all the different radio stations. This is entanglements, and one of the worst parts of dementia is you feel like you know things, but you really don't. As I like to put it, it sounds like you're holding onto one single thread of all the memories you have, but about to fall and your hands are slipping. As the artist says for this, there's much confusion and horror. Extreme entanglements, repetition, and rupture can give way to calmer moments. The unfamiliar now sounds familiar. This gets close to the stages of isolation. Stage 6 is the last and final stage. The artist didn't put any description for this one, so I'll just go ahead and give you my opinions. This is the stage where you let go of that last thread. You don't remember anything anymore, and it is like an endless void of blankness. You don't even know who you are anymore. This is the scariest part for people with dementia and can be terrifying. Now let's lighten the mood again with music. I think this album does a good job of capturing the horrors and truth of dementia. Please listen to this whole album if you have any desire to experience the whole thing yourself. Dementia is a terrifying thing that happens to be a part of life and death. This album sure is able to make me and others appreciate the memories I have and make me grateful that I get to live most of my life with them. So please appreciate the memories you have and make, because you never know when they might all disappear.